What's up everybody, Jesse, Slot City Fishing. I know it's been a while since I made a vid, but we're back. So first off, thanks to the notification crew, for all you guys who have notifications turned on and hit those likes and subscribe as soon as the video gets uploaded. Really appreciate you guys. But I put out a question the other day on the Facebook page asking what kind of video you guys want to see, and somebody said would love to see a video targeting flounder, jet esperar. Well, we're gonna do you one better, buddy. We're gonna do some tips on how to catch flounder, and I got one of my good buddies, Mr. Jeff Altman. He's gonna join us on the phone, and we're gonna talk about tips on how to catch flounder. Jeff Altman, he's one of the resident expert local fishermen around here. He's the co-host of the Gone Fishing radio show up here in Jax. He's a very active volunteer with Heroes on the Water, which is a kayak fishing organization that takes vets out fishing. I do a lot of their video work. That's how we met. And then also he's pro staff for a ton of different companies, including Native Kayaks, Tail and Toads Apparel, Flounder Pounder. He's got a lot of credentials, but anyway, he's gonna join us, and then we're gonna talk about different things, including where to find them, seasonally, what's the best time to target them, best baits, lures, rods, how to detect bites. There's a lot of debate on that, whether or not you should wait to set the hook or set the hook, whatever. We're gonna talk about all that kind of stuff. But if you hadn't heard of Slot City Fishing, we're three brothers. Two of us are active duty military, so we do a lot of travel videos. We got a 19-foot Sea Fox flats boat, we got kayaks, we do a ton of surf fishing videos. So if you end up liking this video, check out our other vids. You'll probably end up liking some of that stuff too. But yeah, we went out yesterday on my boat. We took one of my good buddies from work, his name's Trevor. He caught his very first fish here in Jacksonville, Florida. So we're gonna spotlight him real quick, and then I caught a really nice flounder. I'm gonna show you what lure and everything. I'll even tell you the spot. So before we call Mr. Altman, I'm gonna roll those clips, that way you can see how yesterday went, and then we'll call Jeff. Let's do it. What's up everybody? Jesse. Nick.
Trevor.
Slot City Fishing. Today we're out here at Doctor's Lake Inlet. We're trying to cast net some shrimp, and then my buddy gave me some coordinates to a couple humps out here that are holding a whole bunch of flounder. So that's the plan. We've been out here for about 30 minutes and we're just now starting to find them. So hopefully you can fill up the live well with some bait.
Oh yeah, buddy. Get it, Trevor. That was a solid tactic, Trevor.
Not the lady. No, it's a, what is that?
That's a big ass ladyfish.
That's a big ladyfish. Cool. What's up, guy? It's the first fish I've ever caught. Jack.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to hold him? Dude, what's up with his eye?
Big old ladyfish. Not the
First fishing jacks.
not the target species, but it's good.
Oh shit. Get the net, Trevor. Oh yeah, that's nice. You better be.
I'm not.
I'm recording. Flat boy. Bro, that one's big.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Told you them fish bites work, bro.
Hell yeah. You can set it down, Trevor.
All right, dudes. It's Fish Bites Dirty Boxer in the bone color. It's called something else, I forget, but it's like bone. But anyway, flounder. He's big too, man. Like, what, probably like 20 inches?
I would
like
say.
That. We can measure him right quick. It's like 18.
Sure. All right, let's catch more.
All right, so pretty fun day out there. The shrimp, they're gonna get thicker in the river. Once they get, a lot better numbers out there, we're gonna catch a lot more flounder. I wanted to make this video before the real season kicks off, so we're gonna go ahead and call Jeff and hopefully learn some stuff. Let's give him a call.
Hello.
Jeff, what's up?
Jesse, what's up, man?
How's it going, bro?
It's going.
Well, I appreciate you taking the call, man. We got the camera going. We're gonna talk about some flounder.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
All right, so yeah, Jeff, thanks for taking this call, man. I definitely consider you one of the best kayak fishermen in our area that I know of. So I see you pull up them doormat flounder all the time too.
Oh man, ain't nothing like catching flounder. Flounder during right times of the year is definitely my fish of choice to target. And but yeah, flounder fishing. It depends on the time of the year. It depends on how big your flounder are going to be.
Yeah.
The bigger flounder generally will come in about September 1st is, in my mind, kicks off flounder season for me.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, man. It's the first topic I wanted to talk to you about was seasonally, when's the best time to target flounder?
Hey, flounder can be targeted throughout the year, but the bigger fish, the ones that are coming in from offshore to breed and things like that, is more of your winter flounder. Like I said, that's to me, September the 1st has always been my target date.
Yeah, and I've stuck some really nice flounder this year, upper 20s, and during the middle of the summer. So, they will move in during different times of the year, but generally in the spring for your smaller flounder. Yeah, I think that it really has to do with, at least in our area, when the shrimp start coming in through the inlets. That's when I always catch the most of them, is wherever I can cast net shrimp. I usually catch a nice sized flounder right close by.
Well, most of the time now I'm throwing a lot of plastic. But if I'm tournament fishing, or I've got some bait, I'll throw finger mullet or mud minnows on a jig head or a Carolina rig, depending on the type of area that I'm fishing.
Yeah. So let's talk about bait and lures, man. I have a pretty good idea. I know what you're gonna say for flounder lures. I'm just curious what I think is what you're gonna say.
Well, truthfully, my go-to right now is a jig head with I've been using the Gulp Pogies swimming mullets.
Oh yeah.
Man, they've just been whacking them. They're like a 3-inch bait. That's a small profile, but like the shad or sardine color, anything with some gray and black in it, mimic local baits. But the flounder have really been tearing those up. Nice, man.
Yeah, Gulp definitely has been always productive for us, man. And then I've been using the Fish Bites Fight Club lures a lot. Those things have been working well for me.
Yep, they absolutely have. The dirty boxers, the white knuckle,
yep,
the white curly tail. Those have been real productive. Also, I've been getting a lot of reds with them also.
Yeah.
And I've been getting trout with them. So I mean, they're an all around great bait. The Fish Bite products are good stuff.
Yeah.
And they're locally made down here in St. Augustine, Florida.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. We're supporting the locals.
Yeah, definitely. And then I've caught some nice flounder just on down south lures too, man. Like not really even trying to fish for flounder.
Yeah, well, a lot of times, if you're red fishing, I mean, basically red, trout, flounder, all are going to hit the same baits.
Yeah.
You're gonna catch them on pretty much anything. Like if you're throwing for for reds and you're throwing a Clark spoon or something like that, and flounder will hit those spoons. I've caught big trout on spoons. So, these fish they don't really care what they're eating. If they're tuned in and ready to eat, they're going to feed on what you get in front of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, like you were talking about the flounder fishing and kayaks, depending on the water conditions and where you're at, if you're fishing like an outgoing tide and you're in creeks and things like that, that's a lot of difference between river fishing and creek fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in the creeks, I'm looking for the mouths of those creeks and little areas that sort of stick out a little bit farther and create little eddies up behind them.
Eddies and drains with the tides.
Yeah, points. Always throw at the points.
Mm-hmm.
Edges of the oyster mounts when that water starts to go down. Another thing, here in Jacksonville, we've got a 6-foot tidal change.
Yeah.
And I've got some areas that, when that water gets up on that and it's getting up into the marsh area, but once that water starts coming out and it drops off right there and to where the mud is, those flounder are coming out from those upper areas where they're ambushing the bait coming out, on the dropping tides.
Yeah, I feel like flounder, like a red or a trout, you can really like get a reaction bite, but a flounder, I really think that they are like the most aggressive, like ambush predators. Like they're the ones sitting there on those points, like waiting for things to come by them.
That's exactly what they're doing. And one of my, we were talking about the jig heads with a plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I also will throw a jig head with a finger mullet or a mud minnow. The reason I don't throw live shrimp too often, I do occasionally, because everything likes shrimp.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to catch other things, and I don't want to be getting the bait tore up by, spots and grunts and
catfish,
mangroves. Well, mangroves will tear up, mud minnows and stuff.
Yeah.
But another thing that I like to throw and is a good search bait is a spinner bait.
Yeah, man, I was going to talk about that.
With a jig head.
Yep.
That's definitely one of my favorite things to throw. If I'm out tournament fishing and I'm looking to cover area, I'm throwing that spinner bait.
Yeah, for sure.
I pull it at the speed. I try to get my speed where I just start to feel that blade wobbling.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get that speed, I got the feel of it, and I'll just work that. Sometimes if I'm paddling from area to area, I'll drop it 5 or 6 feet behind the kayak and just a real slow paddle.
Yeah.
And just drag a spinner bait, and the flounder will tear it up. So will the reds.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. So we talked about baits, lures, time of year, like structure, where to find them around those points and stuff. Let's talk about like your tackle, like your rods and reels and line, what you use.
All right. Well, I do throw a lot of bait casters.
Mm-hmm.
I like I've got a Revo Inshore that I really like.
Yeah.
I'll run 20-pound braid on there.
Mm-hmm.
And generally when I'm fishing for reds and things like that, I'll run 20-pound fluorocarbon. But when I'm tournament fishing, I change it up a little bit, and then I will go to like a 40-pound fluorocarbon leader
for abrasion.
Because a lot of the areas that I fish in. Here's the thing: if you're not losing tackle, you ain't flounder fishing properly.
Yeah.
Because those flounder, you're working around rocks and snags and things like that.
Yeah.
So definitely be prepared when you go out there to have the right equipment. But a 20-pound, I like a medium heavy rod tip. a lot of my rods are, between 7 and 7.6
Mm-hmm.
is what I like. Now, sometimes if I'm wade fishing and things like that, I'll throw one of my spinners, and again, it's a medium heavy rod, because when you sit on this flounder, I want to be able to feel that flounder, and when I set the hook on it, and I don't want too much give.
Yeah, a bunch of rod bend.
I want to be able to force that. I want to be able to force that fish in. I want to get that flounder up as quick as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
When you've got, if you're fishing in deep water and things like that heavier, or if you're using a Carolina rig versus a jig head,
mm-hmm.
I'll use about 8 to 10 inches of a 40-pound fluorocarbon, and I'll use like a 2-3/0 tail hook.
Yeah, that's exactly what I use, man.
Or what I like to use. The hook set. A lot of people, you see people set the hooks on fish, and they snatch that fish or that rod sideways
mm-hmm.
to set that hook. My hook set on flounder is straight up,
and
it's a short. I mean, I just went, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Really, and jam it up into the top of the head.
Yeah.
So most of the times, my hook set, when I'm bringing flounder in, my hook's buried up around the eyes somewhere.
Jeez.
And that's exactly where I want it.
Here's another really debatable topic with flounder fishing, man. Are you a guy who lets them chew on it for a little bit, or do you set the hook right away?
Okay, that's a great question, because if you're fishing with a small profile bait,
mm-hmm.
or if you're using small mud minnows, a lot of times, they say they hit that mud minnow from the back and stun it, and then they flip it over, which
mm-hmm.
is your second thump, and they suck it in. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm throwing like these little gulp pogey mullets, they're only 3 inches long. As soon as I feel that fish hit that thing, boom, I'm setting the hook on it.
Yeah.
Right then.
So live bait, you might give it a second, but artificials, right. You set the hook.
If I'm using bigger baits, also, if I'm using a 3-inch finger mullet
mm-hmm.
or something that's that, I'm definitely letting him chew on it for a couple minutes. Well, maybe not a couple minutes.
Yeah,
but,
like 5 seconds or so.
Sometimes 15 to 30.
Jeez, really?
When I feel that flounder hit, I'll feel that first bump, then I'll stop. Then I'll feel the thump again. And at that point, what I do is I just move my rod a little bit to create some tension.
Yeah, kind of like sheephead fishing, sort of?
Yeah, sort of. And I just want to feel that tension on that fish. And sometimes if you just barely lift that rod, and you'll see the rod tip start to move down from the weight of the fish, because I think that way I can determine how big this fish is that I'm dealing with. When you lift it up like that, he's generally, if he's chewing on it and you got him, he'll start to move. When you feel him start to move around, go on and set the hook on it.
Nice.
And you'll get a good hook set. But like with the baits and stuff, or a small mud minnow, like the little 1.5, 2 inches,
yeah.
We all get those in the bucket, you know.
Yep.
When you toss those out, as soon as it hits it, boom, I'm setting the hook, because that small bait, that flounder, has sucked that thing in.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. You get into bigger finger mullet, 3, 4, 5 inches, things like that. It's going to take them a little bit to get that in. So definitely, the weight on setting the hook is sort of determined by how big that mullet is. You always want to look for rocks, jetties, pilings, anything that's going to hold bait fish and get bait fish around it.
Yeah.
If you know areas that have, you know, some deep rock piles in 15, 20 feet of water, those flounder, those big flounder will sit down there and wait for those baits.
Yeah.
And, you know, river fishing and creek fishing is sort of totally different.
Yeah.
You know, because what you're looking for and things like that.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna let this video go on for too long, man. But I don't think I've seen many videos that go like really in depth like how we are on flounder fishing, man. And I definitely appreciate you coming on the channel and sharing your expertise, man.
And now we gotta get out and go do some serious fishing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, why have we not fished together yet?
Yep, we definitely need to make this happen.
Yeah.
I'm ready. We'll either go out and do some flounder fishing. I'm ready to go out and throw out in the surf too.
All right, man. Well, sounds good, bro. I really appreciate you having you on here, man.
I appreciate it, Jesse.
All right, man.
Okay. You done with the taping now?
Yeah.